Hey, everybody, welcome to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, strategies, everything you need to build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. Today is Friday. Yes, Friday. We everything tech, media, social media, whatever you need dealing with the digital world, we've got it for you right here today. And so TJ and I are going to start the ball rolling. Dr. Tachi and Terralina will be in a little later on. But welcome to the show. Hey, Pat Murray, how you doing?
Hey,
So,
Pat.
woo! It is wild. It is wild, wild, wild right now. In
It's Wild Friday.
hair is wild. Friday.
Everything's wild. Notes are disappearing. But we're here.
Yes, we are. I can do tech history if you want, or if you just want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
dive.
No, let's do tech history.
Just
It's
act like
always
we
interesting. Hmm.
just okay, because I'm like, what is going on? So, okay. Oh, that's interesting. I think I'll start. Well, maybe that's even more. Um, Man, there's a lot of stories. Let me pick some. Okay,
Let's get the juicy ones.
August 24th, 1995, kicking off one of the largest product launches in technology industry history, Microsoft releases the highly anticipated Windows 95. More than 1 million copies will be sold in the first 4 days of its release. I remember Windows 95.
Yeah, I do
Windows
too. Remember
95,
that they would line up like they did for Apple. Remember when Apple new phones, they lined up for Windows 95, all the Windows update. They lined up at the stores the same way.
right. Windows 95, I think, may have been the best one they had.
It was. It was.
It worked.
It worked. It was their best.
Okay, that's all we can say about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So August 24th, 2011, um, Steve Jobs resigns as Apple CEO, and he says, I have always said if there ever came a day when I could no longer meet my duties and expectations as Apple CEO, I would be the first to let you know. Unfortunately, that day has come, Steve Jobs. And that was in 2011. Um, he resigned, he passed away 43 days later on October
Wow.
5th, 2011. That seemed like that seems like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago.
Mm-mm. We're in 2020. That was like 9 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nine.
9. It
And my
doesn't
math
seem.
didn't work. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, August 26, 1938, radio station WQXR in New York City broadcasts a program using a tape recorder for the first time. The tape recorder was used the tape recorder used was the Philips Miller recording system, also known as Miller tape, invented by James Arthur Miller. So before that, every radio was
Wow.
live. So everything was done live prior to that point. I'm like, man, that was a lot of work doing live. The largest battery backup, August 27th, 2003, the city of Fairbanks, Alaska, connected to what was at the time the world's largest battery backup, designed to help prevent serious blackouts that plague the city every 2 to 3 years. The batteries could provide power to the city for a few minutes, enough time to start up the city's backup diesel generator. The battery contains 13,760 cells covering more than 10,000 square feet. It was reported that in the first 2 years of operation, the battery system prevented at least 81 power failures. Now, the rest of us over here, what would we do if we ran out of power every 2 to 3 years? That would be,
Wow. That
yeah.
I can't imagine.
Um, so, and then this final story, I'm going to segue into something else from this, but in
Okay.
August 28, 2009, Apple releases Mac OS 10.6 Snow Leopard for their Macintosh computers. Snow Leopard was an important release as it was the first to drop support for PowerPC based Macs
Mm-hmm.
and focus optimization for the Intel processor based Macs, the networking protocol that Apple has used since the 1980s. Apple Talk was also discontinued in Snow Leopard, never used it. Apple Talk was the first true plug and play networking protocol, and during its heyday in the late 80s, Apple Talk was the most widely used networking protocol in the world. This is significant because when Apple does their releases of operating system, you notice we don't pay for those.
Nope, we don't.
We don't pay for a new operating system. It just, we just get, we get
Yeah.
a notification
Just get
to
it.
update.
Yeah. Yeah. Just notify and get a notification and you update.
Right. And so I'm like, so Snow Leopard was so long ago. We got Big Sur coming out.
Yep. That's the next one.
And I was liking Catalina, and I'm like, okay, we're moving.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, Big Sur.
These updates are rolling out really fast.
But what's happening in Big Sur is there are a lot of security measures. So I'm doing beta on one of my machines, and the Big Sur, it tells me, because when I was on Safari, there are a lot of people, let me backtrack. A lot of people are concerned about their privacy and where they go when they're on the internet and ad tracking, right? So ad tracking is a thing. Well, I was on the Big Sur test.
Mm-hmm.
Over on Safari, it tells me 59 such and Safari has blocked 59 incidents where somebody wanted to track your ad tracking. I was like, what? So they have put in new protocols for new privacy measures. Apple has instituted some stuff. Facebook is not happy about it.
Right.
Because they got to change some stuff.
Yeah, they have to. I think Apple was sending out a developer's kit for people who write apps and stuff, so they could, have the right coding and everything for this new update. I was reading that.
And Facebook wasn't happy about it. I was reading the article. They were like,
Facebook is never happy about anything the competition is doing.
Well, because now they're going to have to because of the way the ads were, where they were tracking ads, Apple, everything is opt-in now. So they're going to ask on your phone, do you want to share ads with these people? And they said, well, most people are going to say no.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, but Facebook is not going to be able to give advertisers all of that good options for finding data to target ads.
Nope, because Apple's shutting that down. Or either they're putting the control back in the hands of the
user. Yeah.
Yes, and we get to decide.
Well, look, there's a lot of things coming up. There's going to be a change to cookies, how they operate. That also gives Facebook and other advertising platforms, that gives them data that they can give to us when we run ads. So there's the cookies, there's this the ad blocking. All of these things are coming up. So Facebook and others are going to have a pivot because they rely on advertising dollars.
Right. And Apple turned that all over to the people. You can say no if you don't want that on, and it's up front. It pops up on your screen. Do you want to share information with this particular company? And you can go, no.
Most people are gonna say no. And you know, when you see pop-ups like that, one of the buttons is usually highlighted. I see that a lot. So if they highlight the no, psychologically you're going to click the no. So I don't know how they're going to design this button. I'm really interested to see, this yes no button. And most people are going to say no because
they don't want it.
Right. But see, this is going to tie into advertising, PPC, Facebook, where it's really, there's so much, there was a lot of they call them attributes or whatever when you run an ad. There used to be more, but things were changed because you could target people by their race and different things like that. So those things were removed years ago. Right. But now they have it by interest, but now it's going to be even less things for I'm looking at it from the app, the small business advertiser running ads on Facebook. It's going to be less attributes for me to use to target people in my audience that I want to target.
That means you're going to have to work a little harder.
Yeah.
And this was never free anyway. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to put it on there and they're going to come. That is not happening right now.
Nope. So we got a lot of things to watch. Because Apple is saying we're going to give control to the user of their phone and how things operate and what follows them around and what does it. And on the other side of that, Facebook and other people that get most of the revenue from advertising dollars are going to be like, okay, what do we do now? So we'll see. Right. It's interesting. That's a topic to watch.
It is, because it is definitely, it's changing the game.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Oh, Taji. Okay, this is Friday because we just Terry, can you send Dr. Taji the link, please?
I definitely can make that happen. I'll be right back.
Okay. You can stay there and do that, but it was interesting. All of them, the game is changing, people. They're not just gonna put your stuff out there.
Right. This is one of the topics that's been on the back of my mind because I've followed the cookie policy thing, the changes, and that I know that's going to affect advertising. So now we have this. So there's going to be some things that we need to do, with your digital marketing, social media. And like I said, it's going to be more work, or the tools that we had before are going away.
Right. Now I'm gonna let you talk about TikTok when it comes up. I think TikTok is on the plate for today.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, it's really interesting. This is stuff happening, people.
It's so many things going on. Do you want to get started? Oh, Terraline is back. Or is she not back?
She's getting.
Oh, that's you.
Are you muted?
Yeah, she's muted. You muted.
Yes, I was muting myself while I was doing that with Tachi. But yes, I'm here, but I don't have a story today, so you go right ahead.
You don't?
No, you don't? I'm surprised.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
It's Saturday.
Saturday in my mind. I am so Saturday.
Okay. I could go into social media. I had all my notes written up and they all disappeared, but I wing it.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Then they just disappeared. Just like, whoop.
Well, Tachi's here. So maybe she has a story while you're pulling yours up.
Yeah, bring her up. Good morning. Hi, Tachi.
Hey, good morning.
It's just a wild day today.
I don't know what happened.
It's Wild Friday.
Mental calendar. I don't.
Let's see. Carolina thought it was Saturday. I lost my notes. Fred, what was it? What's going on? Everything is just going on.
It's very interesting.
Wow. Oh, did you get your notes back?
No, they're gone.
Okay. Do you want me to give you something?
Yes.
No, I had have it. I wrote some stuff down, but I have
okay. I thought you wanted
I like to
to
write my stuff up, but no, I have the stories that I want to talk about.
Oh, okay.
So I'll get started. So this week, the wrap up of social media, this wild week, I'm going to start with the little stuff. So Twitter, Twitter is always giving little things to they want to facilitate conversations, but they really should be focusing on the privacy and their hate speech and their bullying. But they're like, we'll get to that later. So Twitter added a little thing. They added a quote count to the tweet. So here it is. This gets confusing. I had to read this a couple times. Like, what are they talking about?
Okay.
All right. So you could retweet. You know what a retweet is? Is that somebody else tweeted something, 280 characters. They tweeted a thought, and there's a retweet button and a like button. So if you hit the retweet button, there was 2 options. I never used this one. It's called retweet with comments. So you could retweet somebody else's tweet and write your own commentary on top of it. That's retweet with comments. Or you just had a straight retweet where you just hit the button and it went on your feed and it said, it says from this person and you retweeted it. Okay, so now they have something they're testing called quotes, which is the change of the name of retweet with comments. And they're going to add a counter for that. So there's a like counter, there's a retweet counter, and now there'll be a quote. And I had the little link to show you, but I haven't seen it. It's in testing mode, so I haven't seen it. So if you see it, it'll be next to like and retweet. Okay. And all it is that an option to you retweet with commentary, and then the person tweet will have a counter under it with the likes, retweets, and quotes. So Twitter's adding this to facilitate conversations, but they it helped a little because when someone retweets someone else's tweet, you can get lost in the threads. Like you have to find the original quote, the original tweet, and then you see the answers or the responses to that tweet outside of yours. It's confusing, but this is what Twitter's working on. So keep an eye out on it. I say they should work on their hate speech, bullying, privacy issue.
So they're working on confusing us? Because
yeah.
I'm like, what?
Let's see, I never used the retweet with comment. I always retweeted, which was just a click and it went on your feed. Now they're saying, okay, to make it less confusing, instead of calling it retweet with comment, we're going to call it quotes, and we're going to put a button on the tweet so you know how many quotes were made from the original tweet. See, I knew. So this is what they're working on instead of, the things that people really want.
They're working on
okay.
But I'm asking this for Mark Ward. Did they fix the edit button?
No, I don't think they're ever going to give you that. I don't think they're going to give us that edit button. No. You have to delete and rework the tweet. Yeah. So I don't think that.
And we talked about how problematic that would be.
Yeah.
Right. But
yeah, because go ahead.
Everybody else has one. Facebook has one. You can take it off.
The issue is that the person who lives in the White House is not constantly using Facebook as a tool. And really, Twitter has been, has really been the tool of journalists. When you see journalists, journalists are on Twitter. So you associate Twitter with news. And so if you could just go ahead and backtrack every time you did, and in the case of this White House, they associate Twitter with policy. Official policy. So if you can go and backtrack official policy anytime you want, that would be problematic. So I think even if they wanted to, it would be very difficult for them to at this point say, all right, let's have a edit button.
Right. Because it's really Twitter's micro blogging. Like that's why why there's a limit of 280 characters. So you're supposed to be able to condense your one thought into that. Or if you have a longer story, you thread the tweets. You do 1, 2, 3. You just do one after the other. And there's, like I think I mentioned before, there are some tools on Twitter, some accounts that will compile that for you into a long story, like a long article. I think Threader is one of them. Threader app is one of them.
Yeah. The Threader app.
Threader, and there's another one. It's Threader. Threader something.
It seems to me, if you're going to do that, if you have a lengthy something to say, you tweet, "Hey, this is my thought. Read more here." Click, and it takes you to an article.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. You brought that up, because see, some people don't want to leave the platform, and this is the argument for Instagram. People want to link in the comments, and see, the app doesn't want you to leave. So even though, yes, Twitter you have links to articles, it's kind of like they want you to stay on, and that ties into engagement. When people say, "I don't get any engagement," because they want you not to lead. Facebook is good for that. They're like, they don't tell you they penalize you, but they do. But they do when you put links instead of commentary and keeping people on the app.
Well, maybe there's a way to leave you in Twitter, but go to a longer version.
Yeah, they would have to they would have to rewrite the app to have a preview when open up into Twitter, and they could do it. It's like, do they want to? I don't know what Twitter is doing, but they're not focusing on the right thing. Yeah, Twitter is twiddling their thumbs like, okay, we're going to do this little thing instead of doing the big thing of giving people more tools to help them, guard them against bullying and hate speech and harassment and all of that. So that's really the big issue for all of the apps is privacy, harassment, hate speech. That's a big issue for all of them. Not just Twitter, all of them. Even Facebook. And now talking about Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook has it's not that they've really been kind of quiet. There's a couple other things, political wise, I'm not going to talk about. I'm just talking about the features in the app. So they're launching a shop tab, just like Instagram. So there will be a shop tab in Facebook, which means that if you have a shop set up for your page, you'll be in that section. I'm not sure how they're going to set it up, but Instagram, remember Instagram has their shop tab where you can buy things. So now and it's not Marketplace. Marketplace is a 1-to-1 Craigslist type of thing. Facebook Shops will be you're a shop owner. Because remember, they have the partnership with Shopify and they got the things going on. So you'll be able to set up a store where people can, shop and buy like an online mall, not the Marketplace. So they're adding that. So now this is the key. They're not charging the shop owners any fees yet. But like we talked earlier about what's going on with the cookies and the PPC and the ads, they're going to need revenue if something goes wrong where they can't get as much money from you running ads because, you don't have a lot of options. So Facebook is saying, hey, they're hedging their bets. Hey, when we need this, we'll turn it on. And you'll have to pay a fee, shop owner. You have to pay a fee to sell.
I do believe.
Not yet. See, the first one is free. Then after that, you got to pay.
Sounds like some illegal activity. There is in the Facebook shop, the last time we set up, I was helping some clients set up their shop. When they set up the shop, when you picked your, what is it called? Your payment processor. Facebook had their own in there.
Yeah. Right. Remember, so you can pay people.
They're going to, their payment process, they were taking a percentage, just like if it was Spotify or
Square,
Square, whatever. Facebook has theirs in there. So although they're not charging you for the shop, the payment processing, they're going to get you for that. Not like in a bad get you, but they're getting paid.
They're going to take a piece of the revenue.
They're taking something of the revenue, and it doesn't matter. They are going to get paid. They just not get paid on the shop. So
Right.
It's sort of like I love this reference. You know, in high school we used to have these parties at our house and charge, you know, and so it's sort of like you don't have to pay to get in, but you got to pay to buy the snacks.
Isn't that like the movies?
Like
You pay to get in and you pay for the snacks.
15 cents to get in, but the snack is $4.95 for a box of candy.
right, and so, and I tell people that, and you know, when even in real estate, they're like, "Oh, this loan is free. They're not charging me. Da 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 da." Oh, they're getting paid somewhere. They just not telling you. They are going to get paid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
They're not doing this for free.
It's not a volunteer thing.
Right.
No,
It's not a charity.
They put money out in advertising and a whole bunch of other stuff. They're not doing that for free.
No,
not
at all.
You're gonna pay a fee somewhere. They just not.
Yeah. So you gotta, look through the legalese and the terms of service for, okay, we reserve the right to charge you a fee down the line. We're not charging it today. So that's what Facebook is doing. They're not you could set up your shop for free. There's no fee yet from Facebook because they are loving their advertising revenues. They're loving it now, but who's to say what's going to happen? Like we said about, all of the options that you have to run an ad on Facebook. Some of those are going to go away because, the Apple thing is saying, do you want ads tracking you or do you want, it's going to be no. So that's going to be a closed road for Facebook to get data to give to us, the advertisers, when we, small businesses, when you run your ads, there'll be less things to choose from and it'll be harder to reach your audience. So, but it's not happening today. It's just something that is coming down the road.
Right.
Because remember, Facebook's not charging us. It's free. Twitter's not charging us. It's free. They rely on businesses. Now. Right, for now. And they rely on businesses, small businesses, to run ad, not the corporations, with their big ad budgets. Yeah, they're spending their ad dollars somewhere else for now. So, but it's something to watch, and that's what we're gonna do. All right, so now it's always the biggest story of the week. What's going on with TikTok?
Oh yes, somebody else jumped in the game, didn't they?
Yeah, Walmart jumped in the game, but
to buy them,
but not by themselves. Walmart was in talks with Google and hold on, there was another.
I thought it was Microsoft too.
I thought it was Microsoft too.
No, what? No. See, before they got to Microsoft, they were talking to Alphabet and SoftBank.
Okay.
What happened is the government said, Walmart, you cannot buy TikTok outright. You have to partner. The lead on this has to be a tech company. So Walmart talked to Alphabet first, and then SoftBank, I think that's a Japanese company, and then they settled with Microsoft. So they partnered with them. So that's the deal. Okay, Walmart wanted to buy it first before all of the talk of everybody. And remember, Oracle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had. So the government, who who said, well, you can't be the lead on this. A technology firm has to be the lead on this. Now, and remember,
who can buy something?
Well, this is okay. No, this is what's going on. Our government, the things that we rely on, the rules and this and that are being challenged by this person in the White House. So this is the issue. He wants a kickback for facilitating the deal. Mm-hmm. Who heard of that before?
Never. It's called.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
Okay, but he's talking about it. But see, this is the issue. He's talking about it.
That's why you don't always need to talk.
This is what he does. He talks about it. He tweets. He does this and that. Remember, he said something about Goodyear. Goodyear stock went down. All he has to do is mention it. We know it's lies. We know he can't do it, but he will say it to make things happen, especially with the financial markets. That's what he's doing.
Can he even do this? Is it even legal to do this? Can you
Well-
force a company to sell because you think, can you do that?
Can
Well,
you block
he's
a
using
sale?
it. He's using all of this. He's using the threat to national security from one of our biggest threats, China. So that's his baton, his bat. That's the thing he's using. He's
And that's
saying,
fine.
right.
That's
But
fine.
that's what he's using.
But can you make somebody? You certainly can say we don't want this to operate in this country because
Right.
we have concerns about privacy. We have concerns
Yeah.
about security, etc. You can certainly do that, but you can't
Right.
tell me, oh well, you have to sell it to. No, you can't.
No, he's not saying you have to. He's saying he's going to ban it based on the threat to national security and saying, okay, guys, come to the table and who's got the best deal. He can't really do it, but he's saying it.
Right.
He's having he's not at the meeting. He's just he puts things in the air and just lets it like snowflake, just lets it fall.
He's using his influence.
Yes.
Well, you're effectively saying you have to sell, even though he's not saying it. He's saying it. I'm telling you to sell. If you want to be here, you better sell.
Somebody say Teapot Dome, scandals. The president using the office to benefit his cronies.
Right. Right.
It was a scandal. And so
Right.
this just gives me like flashbacks. But I don't want to talk about the president right now.
Yeah, that's what I said. Let's get off of that.
Deal.
Okay. So Walmart is
in the mix.
Walmart is partnering with Microsoft. Oracle's on the other side throwing their hat in the ring saying we want to buy TikTok. I don't know who Oracle's partners or what's going on. I didn't really look at it. But the deal, the news of the week, this came out, I think yesterday or the day before, that Microsoft plus Walmart. Now Walmart is a retailer, yes, but they have an issue where they want to be bigger with e-commerce. They want to, beat Amazon or bring up their e-commerce to Amazon level, because Amazon is the big guy. Everybody's buying from Amazon. So Walmart they have a program they're calling Walmart Plus. The details will come out later, where they're going to have something like Prime. And so basically Amazon wants to be in e-commerce, and they want the attention of Gen Z, Gen Alpha, Zillennials, Zoomers, whatever they're calling themselves. This is 13 to 34.
I'm not shopping at Walmart.
Do 13 to 34-year-olds shop at Walmart? Okay, I'm not trying to.
No. They don't want, not for the store, but on their online. They're going to try to connect this e-commerce into TikTok, where
I get
they'll
it.
be the only advertiser.
But you still think Walmart. So
Yeah,
I'm smelling all sorts of
I agree.
FCC and not FCC, but FTC stuff here. So if you own this as a retailer, what could you do to the app to ensure that your things are brought to the forefront, or that you benefit?
Exclusively Walmart ads. They will stop other advertisers from trying to advertise on TikTok. That's what it is. You're right. You're right.
Exactly.
You're right.
That's problematic.
So we're talking monopoly here? Are we talking monopoly and
that's monopolistic
commission?
Yeah.
Stuff.
FTC.
Okay.
I think.
Listen, you got to put all that up against the current administration. If we were talking about the previous administration, it would be a whole different deal. But
I don't even think the administration matters. The fact that you're trying to monopolize on just, if I was on TikTok and all I saw was Walmart ads, exit stage right.
Right. Now, they're not saying that they're going to do this. We can assume I buy it. Of course, my company is going to be featured prominently. Yes. Yeah, they may not knock out every other advertiser, but they're going to make sure their stuff is front and center. That's what they're going to do.
Walmart doesn't have their finger on the pulse. I do understand that they're trying to expand their e-commerce. That's why you had Jet.com and what happened there. Okay.
Right.
They're not positioned in such a way to be able to connect. Now, this is not saying that they could not be, but that had not been their forte for the longest time. So now all of a sudden this opportunity pops up and you're going to try and fit yourself a round player into this square hole. That's what they're trying to do. They don't, I mean, if you look at the top executives, if you look at the top tier of administration, I can bet you none of them look like TikTok users. And TikTok users are everybody these days, but the core is still very young. But the core is still very young. So none of them look like that. How are they going to be able to? I just have questions all day.
Okay, so there's some more. There's
more.
All of this is breaking from CNBC. They had insider people talk. So this is what they're saying. Walmart wanted to be the exclusive e-commerce and payments provider for TikTok and have access to user data to enhance those capabilities. But the government wanted the lead buyer of TikTok to be a technology company because that would be a better fit with the national security rationale for forcing ByteDance to divest this TikTok U.S. holdings. So that's that they want to dominate. And they're like, instead of creating, which they've been trying to do, Walmart hasn't been successful at e-commerce stuff, you know, the jet.com and all of that. They said, well, we'll just buy TikTok. They wanted to buy it first. It was just, we didn't know.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So this all came out like today. Yeah. So now here's another fly in the ointment. Here's another little piece that Microsoft, Walmart, and Oracle, they have 48 hours to decide.
Okay, whatever.
This artificial arbitrary timeline. Who said that?
I'm not sure. They're not saying, but this is CNBC.
I don't even know if that's legal. I mean, even when we would take depositions and things, you know what I'm talking about, Terry. You had 10 business days to respond. Come on, people. What?
You don't get 45 hours is not a time to.
So that's right. This is they're saying TikTok is set to choose between the Microsoft Walmart offer and a bid from Oracle in the next 48 hours. This is TikTok. They're not being forced. Well, I don't know if they're being forced. TikTok is going to decide in 48 hours.
On that September deadline, they're like, let's get on with this.
You don't want to wait until the deadline. You want to have, because there's lots of stuff you have to do.
And I get it, but the thing is, that's when you discount some things, when you don't make good decisions, or you're not looking at everything when you're rushed. So 2 days is not enough time. This whole thing is really, if you think about it, I always, you guys know I'm a filmmaker, so I always think of things in terms of narrative and film. So I'm picturing this happening where there's this villainess that you have 48 hours to decide. And then they just turn around and they're on this chair. That's what I'm picturing.
What's the movie with? What's the guy's name? I forgot that he's the bald head and he had the cat.
Oh yes. The spy who shagged me. Austin Powers.
The bald headed guy is like this with the cat, the hairless cat stroking it. That's the evil one. I forgot his character's name, but that's what you're right. Dr. That's what Evil, it feels
actually.
Like. Dr. Evil is his name. Okay. So what this story is bringing about is that there have been talks before we even heard about TikTok and Microsoft coming in, that they were talking about it before.
So stuff was going on.
So this always leads into politics with the current administration, that what they're saying and whispering in people's ears, Steve Mnuchin and all these other guys, that they're not reporting on secretly. So this was like the shocker of the week. Like Walmart wanted to buy it first before everybody else.
I have to refresh my lipstick. I can't.
Go ahead.
Okay, and so here's the other little part that nobody is talking about. The Disney CEO.
Oh yes, gone. He left.
He's like, I'm deuces. See y'all. I'm out.
He's like, I'm outie.
He stepped down.
That's the sign.
It's a huge sign. It's a mess over there.
Go ahead, Dr. Fauci. That's major.
What's this? No, I see. Yeah, I see that's a huge. It's a huge sign that everything is a mess over there. A complete mess, chaotic to say the least. I
It
took
was
chaos.
it was a mess. It was a mess when 45 said, "Oh, well, you have 45 days." That's when it was like, "What? You're crazy. You can't really."
Bless him and maybe a blessing to his
But you
children.
know why he picked 45? Because
Yeah,
he's
well,
45. He's
yeah.
like, yeah, that's what I'll do. 45. That's it. It could have been any number.
I've read some stories about how he operates in the White House, and he just just looks at somebody and say, "You're the Secretary of Defense. You're the," and it could be the cleaning guy. I read a story the other day. That's how he operates. Like, he gets mad about something, and he just see the first person he sees. You're this, you're that. So
okay, but that kind of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah. No, go ahead.
No.
Well, that kind of rash behavior doesn't spell good things for like the tech industry and things like that, because you're making all of these things based off of, let's go back to the original thing. Your feelings got hurt, so you decided that you wanted to. Yeah, security is a problem with it, but the bigger thing is your feelings got hurt, and so now you're mad. You're and so now you're trying to, but again, it goes back to, well, where does this stop? If there is Twitter next?
Let's see. Look at this now. If he's the big baby, what do babies? You send them to the daycare. There's adults there that oh, calm down. That there's no one in that administration they're all yes men. They're all doing what he wants. So normally you would have sane adults saying you can't do this, but no one's doing that. So,
but here's the thing: all people in the tech industry, all they have to do is be quiet and turn around and keep doing what they're doing, because you can't. Okay, Congress is not even taking care of regular stuff. Right. They're not going to be able to regulate on the tech stuff. They're going to try. But we got other stuff we're dealing with. But
this is his thing, that he's going to throw stuff out to smoke screen to get people up, to stir the sand and get things dusted up. But he really can't do anything. That's how he's operated from day one. He said this and this happens.
Okay. Guys, can we move on from TikTok?
Yes. We'll move on.
I get a headache whenever I talk about certain things.
That's it.
We're done. Like
I said with TikTok, I've been saying all these weeks, watch the space. Watch that means watch the space is going to change.
Yeah.
So
yeah, absolutely.
And that's it.
So creators,
that's the news.
I got one thing I want to say, and that's has anybody heard about Audible Plus?
No.
Tell us.
Okay, Audible is that Amazon company where they sell Audible books and so forth. They have started a tier system. And the reason I talk about this is because when y'all talk about content, you're talking to me about how they're going to be selling us content. And so there's an article over here on The Verge. It says that Audible is separating its exclusive audio content out into its own plan today, with a cheaper subscription that doesn't include credits to download books. I'm so happy about this because I got credits just all over there. Outside of its catalog. Audible Plus for $7.95 a month is the company's cheapest plan, giving subscribers access to Audible's collection of exclusive audio content like their podcasts. So now we're paying for podcasts, okay? In coming weeks, Audible plans to launch more exclusive content, including Podcasts Made, and NBA and the NBA about continuing impact of Michael Jordan and the Bulls. So they're gonna have some stuff centered around sports. ESPN, look out. And celebrity.
So I got a question. So technically, that Audible Plus is a podcast. It's not necessarily the books. It's podcast.
You're going to get some audiobooks. There'll be a lot library. It says alongside its new plan, Audible is consolidating its Audible Gold and Platinum. Remember we talked about tiers, Fran?
Yeah, that's what the Apple One thing is going to be tiers.
Right. Plans into something called Audible Premium Plus. I just hate that when they go there. For $14.95 a month, subscribers will gain access to the full catalog like plus subscribers, but will also receive 1 credit to be used for any content in the library. So you're still gonna be, but now here's another tier. They got platinum, $22.95.
I'm not giving you $22.
$22.95 for the year?
No, dear,
No.
for the month.
Per month.
Per month.
You know, I'm trying to be optimistic. Per year?
I know you're playing devil's advocate over there. The plans are considered to be in preview phase right now, with the idea being that feedback will be considered. I got some feedback for y'all. I am cutting you off.
Because this is, I'm sorry,
done.
They're going over into the what is it? They're crossing over into the streaming service now, where they want you to pay. Okay, we're already paying for Amazon Prime, Prime Video, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, Prime Video you don't pay for. You pay for different things within Prime
Yeah,
Video.
if you want the HBO, you got to pay the HBO fee.
Right.
Yeah.
So you got Prime Video. Now they're doing Prime Audio, which is now a podcast.
Okay.
It is technically a podcast. And they're going to put
they didn't make no bones about it. They said it's a podcast.
And it's $7.99. I'm not paying you $7.99. I can go to my Apple Podcast and stay over there, or my Spotify, or stay with all of them people.
It says the $7.95, which is the cheapest plan, giving subscribers access to Audible's collection of exclusive audio content like podcasts.
See, this is targeted toward people who like audiobooks and they don't have they don't have Spotify or whatever, so they want the podcast feature and don't want to. You know, a lot of people don't want to sign up for everything. So if I love audiobooks, I'm not going to sign up for Spotify because that's podcasting. But now Amazon is saying, okay, well, we're going to add that feature in and give you like a lower tier. Like Terralina said, tiered subscriptions are hot.
Now, and here's the thing too: if they're going to do that, like Spotify did when they bought Anchor, they kicked Apple out. Do you notice they kept the competition in? But because that meant, okay, well, I got more people listening now. All the people I'm having, everybody who's listening to our stuff, plus Apple, plus all them other places, them other 10 places.
Right.
But Audible is not doing that. They're trying to get everybody, they're trying to get people to come to their little realm over there instead of,
and people who like audiobooks.
Instead of including Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Do you understand what I mean? Because now maybe I would pay $7.99 if I can get all of it plus the book.
Right.
I was shocked when I saw it. I was just like, when they went to $22.95, it just made me think about YouTube. Remember when they $63?
$5 for YouTube TV.
With YouTube Red, particularly, I'm like, well, why would I pay for YouTube-like content? Plus, that didn't make any sense. So,
somebody did not sit down and think that through. Maybe they had 48 hours to decide.
You have 48 hours to decide.
Here, Spotify charges $9.99 for a monthly plan, while Luminary only charges $4.99. Still, Amazon has significant money to back up its push into audio. So
they do have that.
Celebrities align themselves with Audible. So they have some exclusive content.
But here's the thing with Spotify, you're getting music as well. You're not just getting the podcast with Spotify. You're getting a music library. So
but see, that's the thing. Audible people want audiobooks, they don't want music. There are some people that are siloed that don't want all of the things. They just like, well, I like audiobooks. I don't want to listen to Spotify because I have my own music collection or whatever the reason is. So that's why they're saying, okay, we're going to add on. This just shows you the power of podcasting. That it's more and more all of these companies are like, well, we need a podcast. We need to bring people over into our circle. So these are audiobook lovers who might not have those other services or might not look at them. So
Right.
and Amazon has the money to do this. It's not
Yeah.
like
Oh,
they
yeah,
have
they
for
can,
cash.
you know, they can
Exactly.
And we have
Not
choice.
for
We
cash.
can
They
turn
can play.
it off, turn it on. It's just
They
Exactly.
can play.
I just wanted y'all
Exactly.
to know about that. I said,
No, that's good.
charging over
I didn't
there?
know
That's
that.
great.
It just
So-
No,
is-
I don't pay.
I'm
I don't pay
sorry.
attention to audiobooks. Not at all.
I don't know if I missed it, but is there any? Well, Audible is separate from Prime, but is there any? Is there any benefit to having Prime? And is there like some sort of discount, maybe?
I have no idea. I think this is sort of in the developmental stages
Okay,
Mhm.
because
okay.
they have.
Well, hopefully they think it through.
Yeah.
So I think
They're saying here's a 30-day free trial that gets you 1 credit, 2 if you're a Prime member, and access to ad-free listening of its full catalog of podcasts, audiobook, and other content.
okay, they just confused everything. So they just did Twitter.
It's so
They
convoluted.
just
Yeah.
did Twitter, and I'm like, what? I understood the Audible book where I pay $14.99. You give me 1 free book, and then I can go in there and buy.
Right.
Pretty much, I'm paying $15 a month for a book. God,
Right.
Basically,
I'm good with that.
it's clear.
It was very clear. Now
Now we got. It's starting to sound like Comcast. We got all these different tiers and packages and bundling, and I'm like, I can't.
Yeah, there's a lot.
It's because subscription-based servicing is where everybody's going to, and they see more money in it, more revenue, because there's different tiers.
You have a subscription service already.
Mhm.
People have subscribed.
They're changing it up.
Oh
And
my
when-
God. Sometimes
When I have to work to understand it, I'm unsubscribing. You need to understand that.
too.
Even if it costs
Yeah.
me money to unsubscribe because I haven't
That
used the
too.
credits, I will cut you off. I'm done with this relationship. I'm done with being
Sorry.
abused. Okay. I'm not going on any more dates. It's over. Okay.
And then Dr. Tachi, you asked about Prime. Amazon Prime, when you pay that annually, let me see if I got this right, TJ. When you pay for Amazon Prime,
Mhm.
you get free shipping on certain
video.
video, Prime Video. What
You
else?
get, the Kindle. You get access. You can add on the Kindle books.
Kindle,
You can,
yeah.
There's an option for that. There's the if you use Twitch, there's an option for that for the gaming part.
You also
What
get
else?
access to Amazon Music.
Yes, Amazon
I've
Music,
never
right?
used it, but no.
Right, Amazon
Yeah, I
Music.
had
There's a couple other things, but most people get the Prime for the shipping, and then
Right.
the other stuff is just okay. That's
You gotta
good.
discover it along the way.
It's,
Yeah.
it's like okay, those are little appetizers, but the big entree is the shipping.
Free shipping. And not all the shipping is free.
Right, you have to look and make sure it says Amazon Prime shipping.
Prime, right.
Yeah, it has to say Prime shipping because a lot of sellers on Amazon they're not connected with that, or that's a different tier or
Yeah.
different things going on. But you have to check.
Mhm.
If it's not Prime, I find another seller.
Yeah. That's what you do. I always look for the little, and it's a little graphic that says Amazon Prime,
It's Prime.
and they
Hey,
will tell
Carlos.
you.
See?
Oh, Carlos! Hey, Carlos's birthday was
Hey, Carlos.
Wednesday.
Yes,
Carlos.
happy belated birthday.
Carlos?
Yeah, I think it was Wednesday. His birthday.
Yes,
Happy
he
birthday.
turned the big
Anyway.
50.
Stuff. TV, media, because media is weird too right now.
Media is weird all the time, but I love it. I love it. So, when if I laugh like this, humor me here. Who does that sound like?
I
Do it
know
again?
that.
Do it again. Pee Wee Herman.
Is that the Wizard of Oz? What's
No,
I know.
Scooby-Doo.
I know.
Scooby-Doo?
Oh,
Scooby.
Yeah.
That's how he left. So, unfortunately, Scooby Doo was one of my favorite. Look, I used to try and solve
too,
these
I
mysteries
loved
like
it.
it was real. And
I
at
loved
3:00
Scooby-Doo.
every day after school, I was like, okay, mysterious man is there again. I was writing notes like I was going to solve this damn mystery. I was writing notes. So
I know.
nobody dare not disturb me at 3:00 when I got home from school. So Joe Ruby was the creator of Scooby-Doo. He's died at the age of 87, unfortunately.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's really, really sad. So he
Yeah.
was an animation writer. He was his long time. He created it with Ken Spears. If you remember watching cartoons, you probably saw Ken Spears a lot because it's a name that is easily recognizable. So I always remember that. So that was his writing partner. Died of natural causes on Wednesday at his home in Westlake
Aw.
Village, California. But he never stopped being creative, according to the Huffington Post. He started out in animation, working for the Walt Disney Studios, as a lot of animators did, but came into his own in the late 50s, and then he moved over to Hanna-Barbera Studios, according to
Hanna-Barbera.
comicbook.com. Yes, I loved Hanna-Barbera
Yeah, me
cartoons.
too. Oh,
Loved
yeah.
them.
Hanna-Barbera had a lot of cartoons. Can I say
Remember
this?
Banana Splits?
Yes, it's Banana Splits. I know everything.
I
Yes.
loved it.
So here's the thing that I would like to say about that. That man fulfilled what he wanted to do. He fulfilled his dream. It may not have started out that way, but
Right.
he did what he enjoyed doing. And how many people actually do that?
Exactly.
Not a lot.
Exactly.
We should.
And he
Not a
brought
lot.
joy to other people because all of us watch Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And you know, if he didn't enjoy what he was doing and writing and all of that, we would be like,
And wasn't he creating up until his later years? That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. He also did some animation for movies that were turned into animated series, including Punky Brewster, Rambo, and Police Academy, the animated series. So there were
Wow.
a series of like television shows and such that were turned into animated
Turned
series.
into
And he
animated.
was the executive producer for all of those.
Wow.
So yes, you've done well. We will miss your Scooby snacks. And the owls used to want to eat them because they look like delicious cookies. That's another note.
yeah, it did. That was interesting. Can I say something about Linda from Gotta Be Handmade?
Hey,
Yeah,
Linda.
go ahead.
Say this the other day. She is featured on the front of StreamYard as one of the
Really?
testimonials.
Oh, okay.
Oh, how
If you go to
wonderful.
If you go to StreamYard.com, you'll see her face and her testimonial on the front page of StreamYard.
Wow.
Wow.
Creator of the earrings.
A lot of people
thank you,
using
Linda.
StreamYard. Yeah. I saw I was looking at my YouTube, and you know how things pop up, and what's her name from the Real Housewives, Candy? She has some shows on her channel. One of them was a financial show, and I looked at it and I was like, that's StreamYard, because you can tell with the little,
Yes.
the graphics and the way things. I was like, everybody is using StreamYard.
But doesn't that make you, you're happy, but doesn't that kind of make you
Yeah.
feel kind of some kind of way?
Yeah. Like, wait a minute, this is our secret club,
Oh,
StreamYard.
we were
Here.
using it first. And now,
Yeah.
because there's a pandemic, you decided you want to make some raggedy show with our platform. I'm kidding. But
Right. And
but-
she's sitting, here's the thing. She's sitting across from Gary Vee.
Mhm. Oh,
Gary Vee.
Wow.
check this out.
and Nance. I was like, let me see if I can bring it up.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's a testimony. StreamYard is really easy to use. I mean, it's
It-
really,
it is.
really.
It is. And I think that's why those of us that are creators have been doing this for a while feel some type
Yeah.
of way. And it's like, okay, because we use StreamYard too for Mediascope, but MC Curtis refuses to use it on its own. That's why he always couples it with some of the other platforms we use so that it doesn't have the exact same look that everybody else's does. And that's the key to using platforms like this, because you can use it with other stuff. You can't
Right.
put other things in there to make it more complex.
Right. And see,
Not that
Carlos'
everybody
comment. Carlos makes what does he have? Customized graphics, so it doesn't
Right.
look like StreamYard.
Exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
Oh, look at
Uh-huh.
that.
Hey! Oh, how awesome!
You go.
Great.
Go, Linda.
That's a major exposure.
Yes, it is.
Wow, that's
Major.
awesome.
Loving it.
I am
You
too.
knew, right? That's to Gary
Congratulations,
V.
Linda.
All right. Wow.
Hey.
I'm not mad at Gary V. for doing it, though.
She said she didn't know. She said, "Thank you. I didn't know that,
Oh,
Francie.
she didn't know?
I've been so busy on Reels or
Oh, you've been
Instagram.
using Reels.
I used to be a DJ there. What's
A DJ
here?
here.
And I'm loving the music. Okay.
Oh, she
All
used to
right.
be a DJ in where she was. Her and Pat Murray.
Pat.
Yeah. Pat
Yeah, I
Murray's a
think
DJ
Linda's in
too.
South Carolina. Yeah, and Pat's in North Carolina.
Yep,
Pat's in
in Durham.
Yeah.
North
Right.
Carolina.
One's in
Oh,
north
yeah.
and one's in south.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Carlos says that he uses he customizes all of his graphics so no one knows what he's using.
Exactly. That's what you have to do. And I think it's okay because I'm like, I think sometimes those of us that, are production people, sometimes I think things are unnecessarily hard just to prove that we have more knowledge than everybody else. And it's like, come on, you can make that one button. You don't have to have 5 and memorize them.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes we do that purposely to kind of weed out people who are and that's fine. I'm for learning the original way, but I also love tools like this that make it so easy and intuitive, but you can still customize it to make it look different.
Right. I love it.
I like.
This is such easier because I still have Ecamm.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, why? This I don't have to do stuff.
Yeah, you just
Exactly.
get your browser and get into your account, set it up, press the go live button, and that's it.
Exactly.
And this is what they did right that all of the other platforms didn't do. They charged you out of the gate.
Correct.
So that they can keep going.
Right.
And keep
they charge
improving.
you. Then they keep adding new features.
And the stability feature is just bar none because there's so many other platforms that stability is terrible. But this is the most stable platform that I've been where there have not been, even with what's going on now with overuse. We have not had any problems, using it. So
you gotta give it up to StreamYard.
Absolutely.
Wow. So what else is going on in media?
Yes, just get back to media.
Yes, let me tell you. I mean, this is still media. So TiVo DVRs are going to lose the HBO app at the end of August. So if you have TiVo, just letting you know. TiVo is actually telling their users that the HBO app will no longer be available on its DVR devices beginning August 31st. They said that users may be able to continue accessing HBO content through the HBO Max app, but they're also warning that you also will probably need a separate subscription. They say that HBO Max is currently available on the TiVo Stream 4K. Great. All right.
Okay,
so
wait, who has TiVo?
I don't know.
The people who have them, I don't know. They were really popular, obviously, in the early 2000s because those, when it came to recording things digitally as opposed to having a physical tape, they were the progenitors of all of that. TiVo, everybody was talking about that. But here's the thing: when cable was still king and queen, and they added a DVR option to the boxes, you didn't need a separate device anymore to record things, right? And now you don't even need the cable box because if you've got the something like a sling in a sense, because you've got a box, like you've got a Chromecast or you've got a Roku or something, essentially that's saving all of that stuff in the cloud, not even on your device. So we've gone from devices with physical media to storing things in the cloud. So the answer to who has a TiVo, I don't know. But somebody does because they're making this.
It's the same people who have a VCR or a
A DVD player?
I do. I still have it.
I don't
What's-
have a DVD player.
I don't. I don't even know where it is. I think
Well,
I gave it to E-Waste.
I had to rip open some DVDs this past weekend because my internet was down for 50 hours.
Oh yeah. Oh.
We have Xboxes, so it was like you could put DVDs in the no cloud. I could not access anything, nothing. So it's like
Wow.
And I have DVD. I have DVD. Somebody that bought me because I like the Matrix, so they bought me the set of all of them. I have
Oh.
them.
uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
Well, better get yourself to the charity shop or a thrift store.
Yeah.
Buy
Something.
buy something. I'm sure there are pennies
Just
on the
in
dollar
case.
now.
In case all the cloud
Absolutely.
stuff goes down or your
I
internet.
wonder if they've gone up in price now that people are sort of stuck at home and they don't have one
Well,
anymore.
That is
Well-
a good question. That's a really good
They have
question.
to come back to the
investigate
old
that.
technology to entertain themselves. You know what I mean?
That is a really good question.
I did see a red box the other day,
Mm-hmm.
and so red box is still out there.
Oh yeah.
Renting DVDs.
It still
Mhm.
exists. It still exists. But and yeah, so
Woo.
we'll see what happens with that. So moving on, Snapchat
Mm-hmm.
and Atom Tickets have launched a social ticketing service that's aimed at capturing pent-up moviegoer demand. So they've launched something called Movie Tickets by Atom. And they first announced this 2 months ago as part of their minis lineup unveiled by the social network.
Oh, yeah.
Minis on Snapchat. So Atom is joining companies like Headspace using Snap's new mini app distribution platform to offer services directly inside the Snapchat app. So they planned this earlier in the summer, but obviously the pandemic put this on hold. So they're launching Movie Tickets by Atom. It's a ticketing service, which is
So how does that work? I mean, are we buying movie tickets from Adam, and then we all just do a watch party? How does that work?
yeah, that's a that's a good question. There's not a whole lot of information, but this actually
okay.
just launched, so there's not a whole lot of information
Okay.
on exactly what it is. But
When
I'm
it
sure
comes.
that when it comes, we're going to learn much more about that. So speaking of moving on, GoPro, and speaking of streaming services, GoPro, the little GoPro cameras that are action cameras, which I'm not particularly a huge fan of because the angle is too wide in my opinion. But GoPro has launched a live streaming service for premium subscribers.
Oh.
So just yesterday, they said that if premium subscribers can now stream their treks, their rides, and their swims directly to onto its website. So it's basically like a closed live streaming service for GoPro users.
GoPro users. Okay.
So if let me see if I understand this. So now I got to pay you monthly, but I get to see Boo Boo climb the mountain with
it's
his
like a
GoPro.
network of its own.
It's like
correct.
Vimeo. It's like Vimeo where you take all of your videos and upload your videos to the cloud. So you pretty much upload your GoPro videos to the GoPro cloud, and
Exactly.
you plan for the service to store them there, and other people can see your stuff too.
So now they're charging me for their own storage.
It's a premium service.
Let me get this analogy. So you're charging me to go into somebody else's, you know how you have a storage unit, and tool around and see what they got up in there.
Basically,
and I gotta pay you.
But let me give them,
and I'm paying you.
well, let me give them this: the fact that they started out of the gate charging. So that's our thing. So all right, I respect you more because you didn't just give it free and now you decided to charge. This is what they're doing, and it's a very specialized service. So it lets GoPro Plus. Okay, it's called GoPro Plus. It lets users upload unlimited photos and videos to the cloud, and it will allow about 400,000 premium subscribers to broadcast directly from the platform. So you could go directly from GoPro to that site.
Okay.
Right.
Well, Carlos we got some comments.
Yeah, there's a bunch of comments.
Can we show those comments?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay.
Question.
Let's start with this one. It says, I also like showing live TV shows, iPhone, iPad apps to train, and so much more than most do.
on StreamYard, showing on StreamYard.
Mm-hmm. He says, he uses his DVD player
And
for
the drink coaster.
Wow.
with little no internet here in rural areas, Redbox is very popular. Okay.
I'm sure.
I can see where that would be.
Sometimes we act like everybody lives in Manhattan,
True.
and they
And
don't.
everybody has good Wi-Fi. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm building a platform that will permit movie premieres with the actors live. Oh, I like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, the service costs a ton of money because I was complaining about GoPro
Right. They had
double dipping. Yeah.
yeah, the servers aren't free.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, do you have to, servers are not free. Space, all of this costs money. So I'm not
employees. Yeah.
I'm not upset with them doing that, because for the people who want this and who are users of this, it's a great place. It's a closed system, you know, so it works for them, and somebody's paying for it, damn it.
GoPro has a certain audience. It's, you know, not everyone is going after that. That's sports enthusiasts, and you know,
it's like the Starbucks of video. It is where if you got a GoPro and you're showing all your tricks and stuff like that, everybody is over there, and it's a whole little community and culture.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well,
I mean,
Carlos says if it's free, then we are the money, and I don't like that.
Yeah, you know what? That is an excellent point. We become the capital if it's free. Although I say that we're also the capital even when we are paying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're providing content.
I think I said a while ago that premium was going to go away, and it has, and we needed to use it when it was free, but now it's starting to go away because everything is subscription based now.
Mm-hmm.
That freemium model it didn't work for startups, so they're not going towards that anymore.
Carlos said he predicts that all corporations will have their media channel, like Red Bull has a channel.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Because it's certain segment. There's a certain audience that Red Bull is targeted, and they like Red Bull. Same thing with GoPro. There's a certain audience, so they're just, you know, making space for them.
Exactly. And I think if we look at this in terms of what has happened with broadcast television, even though they still garner the largest amount of eyes for advertising, there are other things that broadcast television is competing with. For one, quote, cable channels, right? And over-the-top channels. And so if you think about the ABCs, NBCs, CBSs, and Foxes, those big networks, now CW and there's another one. Those were made for mass consumption, the mass audience. So what you think about when we were little, you didn't really have a choice of what was on. You watched what the hell was on. That's why I watched so much, because I was a TV addict. And whatever was Western, I don't give a damn.
We had to take whatever they served up. We had to take whatever they served up over the air channels. That was it.
Exactly. You take what I give you, basically.
Yep. And now we're not living that anymore. It's all niche. It's all specialty. It's all niche. It's all, what do I care about? It's topic based now.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So it is targeted. It's audience targeting at its finest. So absolutely, people who are interested in this will go to that. People that are interested in this will, and you see this. If you think about it, if you think about YouTube as a marketplace, right? There are, even though it's one big marketplace, there are niche channels that are dedicated to fashion, dedicated to makeup, dedicated to racing, dedicated to auto mechanicking.
Topic based, and that's what the thing with TikTok is now. It's all topic based. It's not just it's just Gen Z dancing. No, there are conversations going on topic based, centered around groups of people that like the same thing. That's
exactly.
what
So Carlos, you're right on the money. You're spot
Yep.
on. That's
He's
what's
right.
going to happen. The days of the mass audience are gone.
That's
And in
gone,
fact,
yep.
this is why we've had to adjust teaching mass media and mass communication, because we teach from theories, and so there are
Right.
like mass communication and mass audience theories, but
Right.
these theories consistently shift and change. This is where we get the whole concept of paradigm shift, because the way we think about these things shifts based off of consumer behavior, right?
Mhm.
So there's no such
Mhm.
thing as a mass audience anymore.
Mhm.
So
And technology
this-
drove the change for that.
Right.
absolutely,
Technology did it.
technology made it possible. Whoo! I feel like I'm in the church of media. I get a rush when I talk about these things.
The church of media. I love
Yes.
that.
So, I mean, it's just really interesting.
Yeah.
So, thank you for that, Carlos. And I do have one final story. Everybody knows the app Flipboard, right?
Yep.
Yes, I remember.
Right. So, it's like it's a content curation app. Well, remember them once again because they've got something new, Flipboard
Oh.
TV.
Oh.
Yes. So, they've unveiled options for users and brands just yesterday. The rollout of
Yeah.
Flipboard TV to everyone in the US, and the addition of pre-roll ads and new news video feeds throughout the platform. So they're getting really now much more into video now. This is their thing. So
Flipboard.
yeah, check out your
I'm
Flipboard.
looking at it.
I seldom look at it because I'm like,
Yeah.
nah.
I haven't looked at it in years.
Exactly. But somebody's using it or they're trying to get people to use it. So Flipboard CEO Mike McHugh said in an interview that the video editions that were released yesterday are probably, quote, the single biggest thing we've done for Flipboard, the Flipboard experience in years. Like you said, it built on all of the work we've been doing to make Flipboard the ultimate curation ecosystem. Videos can be curated and put in storyboards or magazines. So, Flipboard TV debuted in March, actually, with 16 channels, but they were exclusively on Samsung Galaxy S20 phones. So, if you didn't have one, you didn't know.
That could be why I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, right. So now hundreds of publishers are providing news feeds and video feeds on Flipboard, like Complex Networks, Group 9 Media, Minute Media, etc. So there's a lot of media companies that are using Flipboard. So this whole debut of Flipboard TV means something really big for them in terms of the way they use video and the way they push video out on Flipboard. So that is it, that Flipboard TV has debuted.
I have a media question.
Okay.
Bill and Ted's Adventure a remake is out. And I'm like, well, how do we watch it? You understand? The movie is coming out, but they didn't say Bill and Ted's Big Adventure. They didn't say it's the remake. And I'm like, oh, I'd like to watch that. But where? Or
I don't know. This is interesting. Tonight, I'm on a podcast where we're doing like trailer talk and movie review type things. So that's one of the trailers that we watch, but I have no clue.
Because I was like, why are you putting it out and you're not telling me where I can watch it? Is it going to be on Amazon?
Because maybe they don't know yet.
Oh.
Okay, so think about this. We don't know when we're going to be able to get things back into theaters. There's no timeline for it. Yeah. They just don't know. So they don't know. They may not know now how it's going to be distributed, and that's the big thing right now, that even if I have a product, the question is, how do I distribute it? What's the distribution model that I use now in a pandemic? It can't look exactly the same like what we did before. So what do I do now? And so that could be why.
Oh, well, here I've found out. $19.99, you can rent it in Apple TV or buy it for $24.99 in Apple TV.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is going to be interesting. Okay. Are they then going to backtrack or backslide and put it in theaters when theaters finally do open? Because the theater and the exhibition industry, just remember, for this year, they relaxed rules in terms of what counts for Oscar consideration and for like Golden Awards. They just relaxed it for this year. That doesn't mean they won't extend it, but I know that they're anxious to go back to the qualification things that things have to be in theaters for at least XYZ. So I'm wondering, are they going to then go backtrack and release it in theaters?
Okay, see, here's the thing. I don't think Bill and Ted's Face the Music Adventure qualifies for Oscar.
Okay.
I don't think it qualifies either, but that doesn't mean they don't want to be considered.
Right. They can be
okay.
for your consideration.
You can consider anything. That doesn't mean it's going to be considered, but you could consider anything. And so this is the reason why, because if that was the case, then everybody, if they weren't concerned about, well, money number one, but awards number two, which can lead to more money number three, they would not be, people would just release direct to consumer. But there is a stigma still with releasing, with not being in theaters and releasing straight to consumer. Because if this had not happened, this revolution of direct to consumer would not have happened the way it has.
That's why Trolls was such a big deal.
So, and my thinking is this: we may not ever get back to the theater.
I'm with you.
The whole theater situation, because they haven't figured out how to make that socially distant, clean, and whatever.
They want people to come to the movies, but we don't want to go.
That is it. The people,
and by the time
we don't want to go.
We may be used to it coming out on streaming first, and they may have to churn those theaters into live theaters.
When is the Mulan thing coming out? Oh, wait, just real quick. When is the Mulan movie coming on Disney Plus, Tachi? Is that
it's already out?
Oh, it's already out.
Mulan is out. Yes.
Okay. I wondered how that did. Like, how many people bought it, or
because it was on it because I have Disney Plus.
Yeah.
So how long I'm gonna have it, because there's really not a whole lot in there. But anyway, I saw it.
Did I tell you?
Yes, well, they added. What did they add? CBS All Access. It's free now. They had some kind of offer where
Disney Plus, right?
That's on Apple TV.
I think that was the Verizon.
No, that's just, no, I don't think so.
Oh, I don't know.
Because CBS All Access, they want their.
Okay, so this is what happened. May I really quickly with CBS All Access? They moved some things from CBS All Access, which is premium, which is paid, to the paid app, to CBS, the broadcast channel. One being Star Trek Discovery, which is huge for them. So Star Trek Discovery, you no longer have to be behind the paywall. The One Day at a Time. Remember, One Day at a Time got canceled. It's now picked back up. It's going to be on broadcast CBS. And there's another Manhunt, I think it's called, is also now on that. So I know there's been some shuffling and moving of programming from CBS All Access to regular CBS.
Okay.
Now, are they putting the new season of Discovery over on there, or are they just giving us Discovery 1?
No, they're putting the new season of Discovery over there. It begins September 12th, if I'm not mistaken. No, I think it's 23rd. 23rd.
So we're not going to. So it's this season 3 is going to be over there.
Season 3 is going to be over there, right? But and I don't know if you're going to be able to watch past seasons like on demand, for example, if CBS is carried on your carrier, or for example, on Sling, how you could watch some back seasons of things. I don't know that, but I do know. Yeah, because Discovery, I always thought, I'm like, you guys are missing a whole lot of people trying to charge people to come into. They were missing me, because I love Star Trek, but I wasn't paying for it. I was okay.
You know what my new favorite is right now on Netflix? I'm watching Enterprise. I have watched a lot of the series. I had never watched Enterprise, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
Oh, it's really good.
Enterprise, right, and they're set 100 years before Captain Kirk.
Yes.
I had no clue. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to go back and do some, go back and get the storyline and some other stuff, because I was like, well, who came after them? Because I like to line stuff up.
Yes.
Yes. Who are these people? So,
yes.
It's pretty good.
And Picard is excellent as well, which is also on CBS All Access. Picard is phenomenal.
Are they going to do a new season for him? Because the first season, I saw all of that, but
Right. No, they, as far as I know, they've been renewed for a season 2. So it's just a question of when they're going to. Nobody can produce anything now, and
Right.
if you are producing something, COVID, there are such strict and stringent rules for how you can produce things on set because of COVID. So that precludes huge ensemble casts.
Right.
So they may
And
have to take a look at how they can do this on a smaller level without involving the sun, the moon, and the stars. Sorry, go ahead.
Right.
I think that Tyler Perry had made some,
It's camp.
Right.
He has
Yeah.
a camp. Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean, figured out
The production
Yeah.
bubble.
Yeah.
2 weeks, everybody gets tested, right? They wait 2 weeks. Everybody has
Right.
to live on campus, on set.
Mhm.
You cannot really go anywhere. They shoot, then you leave. They wait
Right.
another 2 weeks. They bring in the next
Then
production. They did, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
you created this bubble similar to what they've done in Orlando with the WNBA and the NBA.
Mhm.
That didn't stop COVID from hitting them, but I think Tyler Perry has had luck so far
Yeah,
in terms.
I think he has a tighter reign over his bubble than the NBA. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. But at least he's making okay. We're
Oh,
gonna figure
yeah,
out how
that-
to make money. We're gonna, you know how to keep business going. Well, they won't let me do that, so we're just gonna say, no, you better figure out a new way of doing some business.
Figure out a way.
Yeah, figure
make
out a
sure
new
you're
way.
compliant.
No,
And that's what he
Figure out
did.
a way.
So you could
What
say
was
that you hate his work, but you've got to love his work ethic when it comes to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Because he's like, okay,
Yeah.
let me
he's
figure out.
got some good systems and strategies. What does
That's-
this mean,
that's-
guys?
Mhm.
Carlos says the broadcast live on the OTT channel. What is an OTT?
He's talking about Red Bull.
over the top.
Oh,
You're talking about Red Bull.
Over the top.
oh,
Yeah.
Over
okay.
yeah. So for those who don't know, OTT or over the top means
Thank you.
bypassing cable and broadcast systems and sending your
Mhm.
channel directly
Netflix.
to consumers. Exactly. So Netflix is
Hulu.
right. Those are all OTT
Mhm.
channels over the
Yeah.
top.
Over the top. Over the
Gotcha.
top.
We don't have to be bothered with going through them hoops because I love it. I'm like, oh, no commercials.
Yes.
Exactly. Or limited commercials.
Well, yes,
I've never been
limited.
anti-commercials.
I'm anti-interruption.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you can put
Yeah.
a commercial at the beginning. You
Put 'em
can
at the
put it
beginning. Yeah.
end, But when I'm watching the show, don't interrupt the
Mhm.
story.
The story.
People.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I'm anti-political ads. That's what I am. So I don't want to see them, when I'm watching these things. But it is what it is, because here's the thing. You either get ads or you pay for it.
Mhm.
Right. And I don't
Agreed.
mind, and I don't mind paying for it if I can pay not to be
Not to
interrupted.
be interrupted. Right.
See, I mind paying. So give me commercials all day. I know there are some people like you that they really like. Kevin from my podcast partner, he will pay not to be interrupted. He
I don't
hates
like
ads.
being interrupted.
I'm fine with the ads.
Didn't they?
I had Hulu. I dropped it. It's like nope.
Too many
Yeah.
ads.
Because when you start getting as many commercials as you do if you was watching the regular TV,
10
you might
commercials.
watch TV.
7, 10.
5 minutes of commercials.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
Well, this is why, if you think about it, look at traditionally television sitcoms, half-hour sitcoms or half-hour shows are 22
Mhm.
minutes. So when you produce it, it's 22 minutes to allow for 8 minutes of commercials.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, and some people take that to a whole new level, cutting part of the shows. Like if you see it over on, I don't know if it's FX or somebody else. It might be somebody else. FX limits their commercials sometime, but there are some people you see 10 minutes of show and then like 10 minutes of commercial, 10 minutes of show, 10 minutes of commercial. I was like, what is this? I need
It's
to
just
get out.
not cute. It's not cute.
No,
Nope.
it's not. It's not.
So,
But they haven't figured out a way to monetize beyond that. They're still using the 1865 model of advertising.
Mhm.
So
And then I'll go and try and find this same movie over on Netflix or somewhere else because I need to get out of here. Because Anyway,
Okay, guys.
So that's it.
That's
I'm gonna see if I can find Bill and Ted's Big Adventure. I don't know if I want to. Anyway, I don't have no popcorn. At least $25, I can get some popcorn.
Okay.
You could go to the store and
They may be offering free popcorn just to get you back in the theater. Hang in there. Hold out, girl. Hold out for the popcorn.
but see, that's how they make their money. So they may give you the movie for free. You will never get free concessions. Have you ever seen discounts or a sale on concessions? Never. You will never see that happen.
M&M's is $10.
The bulk of their money is made from concessions, not from the price of your ticket. So,
and I think this is what is happening. So you can see the movie, but because they're letting you eat your own food at home.
That's true.
Pay for the movie.
True. Exactly.
It's still less to rent it.
So are we in? Are we at the end?
We're at the end.
We're
Thank
wrapping
you,
it up.
everybody, for watching live on the replay. And as we ramble and rant and rave with this Wild Friday, because I'm telling you, Friday is wild. We appreciate you
for me.
Anywhere. You could have been anywhere on the planet, but you decided to hang out with us. Carlos, thank you for dropping in. Alfredo, Nora, Ben, Maureen, and
Linda.
Maureen was in here. How you doing, Maureen?
Yeah.
Linda Nance is a celebrity now.
Wow.
Over there. And everybody else, thank you so much. We appreciate you. Dr. Tachi, Carolina, TJ.
Robin.
Woo! Robin was in here.
Cecilia was in here.
Yes, Cecilia was in here at the beginning too. Boy, we got
Okay,
we got our own
guys.
We got our own corporate station. Too. Yeah. This is good. And we had StreamYard for all of them other people, but okay.
We want to thank you all for tuning in. Monday, we will be here with coffee, tea, thoughts, and conversations. And we want to thank Dr. Tachi and thank you, Terry. And it's so good to have you in the frame, Fran. I apologize for being late, but I just want to say, don't forget to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.